Yeah, communities that live in Asal areas or arid and semi-arid areas face multiple challenges which are further increased by climate change issues. So the lack of water is one of them. You see most of them walking very long distances to be able to have access to water. We see many of them suffering issues of drought, and in some cases, again, when the rains come, we see them being victims of floods. We saw recently in northern Kenya when we had floods last year. It was just happening immediately after they had experienced drought, and the drought has become very frequent. So climate change is there to make actually their lives very difficult. One thing we do is to ensure that we put our members in a position to be able to understand the reason why we have to prioritize climate change interventions, both from a personal level, household level, to a community level and a government position. So what we do, we build capacity in terms of the dynamics of climate change, having that understanding, and as well as putting them in a position that they can advocate. Being an advocacy institution, we are very keen to build the capacity of the communities to be able to influence policy from county government position to national government position, and even at the international level, because we are very keen in terms of following policy actions at the international level. So mobilizing resources for different user groups. When we talk of user groups, we talk about pastoralists, we talk about farmers, we talk about water users.
The measures we've been taking in terms of helping communities to be able to adapt to some of these climate change issues and also be able to develop themselves in terms of livelihoods. So currently I know Kenya is doing the review of the National Climate Change Action Plan just to be able to review our priority areas when it comes to climate action. So and I think one good step has been the inclusion of youth in this process, and recently they've done a mapping of regional youth groups just to be able to see how they can be able to tap in, and they've been capacity building that are ongoing currently this month as well as next month, just to be able to have youth priorities being added to this great document. Also, Kenya has been is also amending its climate change amendment. There's the Climate Change Act 2016, which has a few amendments. So the Climate Change Amendment Bill, which came up, and I think the public participation, the memorandums were closed last month. So this mostly focuses on the aspects of carbon markets, which is a way for communities to be able to earn livelihoods through their climate action. So if you're planting trees and it's sequestrating carbon, you're able to actually get a bit of money to this. And Kenya is trying to be able to structure this in a way that communities still get as much benefit, just as we're able to be part of the agenda of reducing carbon emissions in the country.
The youth who are currently living, or maybe they're having the activity in the Asal regions, and as we know, the Asal regions keep on expanding every day with the climate change that is happening. And looking at the background information, knowledge that people from the Asal regions have, we do not have as much projects or innovations or infrastructure that can be able to support them in their work. Looking at those who are depending on agriculture, coming from the Asal, they cannot be able to have sustainable agriculture because of the conditions that cannot be able to support agriculture. Looking at where most of the decision making are being made, most of them are being done in the cities, and they cannot be able to accommodate those people who are coming from the Asal.
The more we develop the Asal regions and the more we accelerate the economic activities in those regions, the better the climate sustainability, because climate sustainability actually is a necessity for people to get economic build-up, because when people are not built up in economic, then it will be like you're doing zero work to maintain climate change, or rather to boost climate change in Asal regions. So basically, when people are empowered economically in the Asal regions, then therefore climate sustainability is going to be very good, because people have got a sustainable livelihood. And so I want to thank KIPRA, and I want to applaud them in terms of policies.